Hi, I'm Melissa Maker. I'm an accidental cleaning expert, yet I've been talking about it here on YouTube since 2011. Go figure. Anyway, during that time, I have talked a lot about laundry because laundry is part of cleaning and part of laundry is folding. So in this video, I have compiled some of my favorite folding tips and tricks over the years. Everything from jeans to underwear to the dreaded fitted sheet. Let's do it. First up, the chunky sweater. Now, if you have a thinner sweater, they're obviously very easy to fold, but as you get into the chunkier knits, you might feel concerned because, as you fold them, they can be bunchy or slippery and they won't stay in shape. Well, I'm here to tell you, look at this one. It can, it will, you just have to know the technique. Now, the other thing to know about sweaters is, not all necklines are created equal. Sometimes you might have a turtleneck, you might have a hood. The trick here, and I will actually show you on this beautifully folded turtleneck sweater, if you just see what I did in reverse, the first thing you do is you conceal the weird neck. So you're gonna fold it down. You always, when you're folding, and we're gonna talk about this in just about everything that we fold, you always wanna create a square or a rectangle because that is the easiest thing to fold. So now that I've got my neck folded down, if I had a hood, it would be the same thing. I have more of a square, it's easier to fold. Next, I'm gonna do the regular thing that you normally do, fold in half of the body, tuck the sleeve back over, just like this. You want it to be as uniform as possible in terms of its shape. You wanna have a clean rectangle. And then with sweaters, I always like to fold, especially with chunky ones, and I'll demo with this chunky one as well so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But I like, whenever I do a fold, I always like to fold in thirds. The trick with the sweater is to fold from the bottom up, and you want to get the sleeves and the bottom of the sweater in your first third. But you can see here that I kind of cheated a little. It's not an even third, it's just a little one, just to kind of tuck all of this bottom stuff in that we know gets messy. And then you're going to do a dividing fold in half, just like that. And as sure as the sky is blue, there you go, a beautifully folded sweater. Let me show you with this chunky one. And by the way, whenever I store sweaters, chunky knits like this in a drawer, I always file them, which is how I like to put most things in a drawer, instead of putting them one on top of the other. The secret to an organized t-shirt drawer is in the folding. As you can see, I'm folding each side of the shirt in and then folding it in half, and here's the trick, in half again. This allows for any prints, which are usually on the chest, to be easily visible without having to root around. Remember to have the print side facing the floor when you're folding, that way your image will show on the front. For tank tops, I'm gonna fold them in half lengthwise and then repeat the same folds as the t-shirts. Then I'll file the shirts into the drawer, quite like folders in a filing cabinet. We get asked all the time about how to fold fitted sheets, and I know everybody wants their fitted sheet to look like this. It looks hard, but trust me, it's not that hard once you figure out how to get it done. Quick pointer, my sheets are silk, so they look super wrinkled. Most people's sheets aren't gonna look like this. Either way, this is a straightforward technique, and it'll take your sheets from looking freaky to looking fabulous. The first thing you're going to do is find one corner on each side of your fitted sheet, and you're going to stick one hand through one point and one hand through the other point. Then, this is the easy part, you're gonna clap your hands together and you're going to marry the two corners together. So basically you're going to use one hand as your pole, I suppose, and you're going to wrap the other corner around the top of that pole. Now you should have one end of your rectangle perfectly square. You're going to get to the other side where you'll see the two opposite corners, and you're going to do the same thing. Find one corner, and then you're going to wrap the other corner on top of that. Now, if you look at the sheet lying down, you're going to see it looks like a rectangle, and that means you've done everything properly, and from here, it is smooth sailing. All you're going to do is a tri-fold, so you're going to fold your sheet in thirds. You're going to fold it in thirds again, and you'll see your fitted sheet is now perfectly folded. The trouble with jeans and hanging them is that they're heavy. And if you don't hang them in an efficient way, they're just gonna flop around, lean to one side of your hanger, or fall off. And if you fold them and stack them, it's actually hard to know all of the jeans that you have available to you. So finding an efficient way to hang them that also makes them obvious in your closet is important. There are a few ways. I'm going to show you the first way, which is quite simple. What you want to do is fold your jeans in half, waist forward, and then you're going to have these two belt loops meet up. You're going to take your hanger and hook it through the belt loops. So now your jeans are going to hang like this, and your hanger is going to be dangling your jeans like that. Then you're going to hang your jeans up in on themselves like so, and you're just going to flip the legs together inside. So you've created this little simple roll, and what that does is it shows you the back side of the jean, and it keeps them stable and in place, and they don't really slide around. Here's another take on that method. So you're going to take your jeans, fold them in half by the belt loops. You're going to take your hanger and put it about 1/3 of the way up. Then you're kind of going to accordion or collapse the jeans, put the hanger hook through, and you've got a nice neat hang. So in this case, the 1/3 is flipped out. In the first case, the 1/3 is flipped in, whatever floats your boat. Next, a bit of a weird way, but it does work for some funny reason. I recommend starting with your jeans buttoned up, then take your hanger, and there's no nice way to say this, just stick it in the crotch. Once your jeans are seated halfway on the hanger, you're going to take one leg and flop it over the hanger that way, and then you're just going to take the opposing leg and flop it over the hanger that way. It looks pretty neat. And when you hang it up, they all kind of hang in your closet looking like a shirt. And again, you get the front of the jean facing you, so you always know what pants you have available. You know, I find it interesting that boxers made it into this video. I wonder who asked that question. Chad? All right, we'll show you how to fold boxers. Now, you might want to know why I'm going to show you a different way to fold your boxers, because I suppose, like, you do a little half, you do a little half, it's pretty easy and obvious. Well, you know what? I can show you how to do it better. So here's what you're gonna do, my friends. Rather than doing the face forward fold, you're actually gonna change the game, and you're gonna do a sideways fold like this, all right? Now, once that's done, this is really easy. You're just gonna flip up the leg part halfway. You're gonna flip it up again, so you're gonna fold it into 1/3. Flip it over so that elasticy part is facing you. And then you're just gonna fold it into 1/3 again. Now, the reason this is so great is because it fits beautifully into a compact drawer or little box that you're lining up all your underwear in. So this makes it look nice and neat. It's not wrinkly, it's not a mess. It's great. And you know what? I wouldn't teach you how to do it if I didn't think it was worth your time or if it took too much time. So I'll show it to you again, nice and fast. 1, 2, flip, 1, 2, done. There you go. You're welcome, Chad. And now perhaps the cutest part of the video, folding kids' clothes. And I do have to say, I have a pretty cute collection of them. And I'm gonna show you not only how I kind of organize the drawers, because I know I get a lot of questions about that too, but how some challenging items get folded. Now, I'm also gonna tell you, I have a burgeoning bin of laundry that I have to do, which is why her drawers are a little less full right now, but we still have what we need. First thing I want to show you is this drawer divider. I think these are great for kids' rooms because they provide you with the flexibility as your kids grow to change up the configuration of what the drawers look like. You know, folding shirts, t-shirts, little sweaters, you're using the same techniques that you would use for adult clothing, so I don't really want to cover that, but I do want to get into onesies because this is something I get asked about quite a bit. So here's probably one of, I mean, look, guys, leopard baby, leopard mother, of course. One of my all-time favorite onesies, okay? And I'm sad she's gonna grow out of it soon. But I wanna show you how I fold this. And I came up with this technique on my own, and this works as your child grows. When Riley was really small, the same technique worked. And now that she's bigger, I just have to do an extra fold. So here's what I do. Again, I'm going on that principle of the square. So I flip up the diaper portion into the middle. The next thing I do is I fold the sleeves right in on each other, just like this. And then I have the coveted square. Next, I do a tri-fold like this, and I flatten it out, then I fold it over. I fold it into a rectangle like that, and I stuff it into the drawer. That's how it's done. There's your onesie. There is a really interesting theory about how to fold your socks, and I'm going to give that one a try and see how it actually works out for all of this. I'm taking it from Marie Kondo's book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which I know a lot of you guys have read. It's very interesting. And her theory is that if you ball up your socks like this, I think she calls them like baked potatoes or something. A lot of people don't like this. As you can see, it's really hard to organize, but also eventually it does stretch out the elastic bands on the top of your socks. The whole reason those are there is so that they can stay up on your shins and not just ring around your ankle. So without further ado, let's give her method a try and see if it makes my sock drawer look any better. Again, I'll start by removing all the socks in the drawer and removing any socks which are not worn or too worn. So here's how socks should be folded. Take both socks and lay them one on top of the other. Fold the socks in half, fold them in half again. And congratulations, you have now apparently folded your socks correctly. Once folded, I'm going to put my socks back into the drawer in the same orderly fashion that I use for my bras, undies, and t-shirts. And voila, an organized sock drawer. Next up, how to fold a maxi dress. The thing is with maxi dresses, they tend to be A-line. And in fact, this tip will work not only for maxi dresses, but shorter dresses or even A-line skirts. And here is what it looks like at the end. And here's how we're gonna do it. I would recommend hanging your maxi dresses where possible, but if you don't have the closet space or if you're traveling, this is the way that you wanna do it. So lay your maxi dress out flat on a surface. And the whole concept behind folding is we wanna have straight lines. And I've said this many times in our folding videos before. Once you got the straight lines down, folding it is a breeze. So we're going to create a straight edge on one half of the dress so you can see it sort of goes on a bias once I folded it. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Now everything looks straight, kind of like a long skinny rectangle. I'm going to flip the top of the dress down, and this part's really easy. We're just going to fold a bunch of times until it looks nice. And voila, done. I find leggings particularly challenging to fold because they don't stand up nicely. So what I like about this technique is that it creates a little envelope for your leggings. So they're like neat little workout packages. Let me show you. You'll do the same thing by folding that crotch part in to create a straight line. Then you're going to fold your leggings up about halfway and flip the top over about 1/3 the way down. Then you're going to lift the top flap of the leggings open and stuff the bottom part of the roll in. I don't know about you, but when I am at a fancy hotel or spa and I see the towels, I just get excited. It's kind of weird. They know how to fold their towels. And most of us, when these come out of the dryer, you know, we just do kind of like a fold, a fold, a fold. We get some sloppy looking square. We can raise the bar. We can do a little bit better than that. So I'm going to show you how to achieve this look. It takes seconds to do. It looks beautiful, really high impact, really simple. Let's do it. So you're going to start off with your towel, and if you have a pattern, as I do, you're going to put the pattern side facing down. You're just going to flatten out that towel as much as you can. Now you're going to meet each corner set together like so. Get it nice and taut. Then you're going to marry these. They've said their vows, everything's official. Give it a quick shake. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the outer edges, flip them in 1/3, smooth, flip it in another third, and you're done. And when you're stacking your towels, you always want to have the neat edge facing out, and that way you're always concealing this edge and of course the side. Long items like dresses and jumpsuits can actually be pretty cumbersome and take up a lot of space in your closet. And if you have a closet like mine where you've got 2 levels, you've got to figure out an alternative. So what I recommend is to get yourself a regular hanger and just hang the item as you normally would, but then get yourself one of these clippy hangers. That is the official name of them, by the way, a clippy hanger. And what you're going to do is lay your garment down, hang the hanger where you normally would, and then you're going to take the clippy hanger and put it at the bottom of whatever the garment is. Then you can simply fold the two hangers to meet up. You can take the hook of the clippy hanger and put it on the bar of the regular hanger, and voila, your problem is solved. Duvets and comforters are one of those items that I actually hate storing. So I would even suggest rethinking your bedroom decor strategy so that you can avoid having to store them, because they are bulky and they don't fold up nicely. What Chad and I did, we actually have a lighter weight duvet that you can use all year. I always get duvet and comforter mixed up, but it's a duvet that you can use all year. And we got the lighter one so that in the summer, it kind of kept us the temperature that we need. And in the winter, if we need extra blankets, we can throw them on. Or in the summer, we can just fold it down to the end of the bed. That way we really never have to think about storing, because they're so annoying to store. But if you do have to store them, I have a couple of solutions for you. As you can clearly see, I mean, I gave it my best shot, but it is not a perfect square, and it is going to look lopsided and yucky in a linen closet. So the two options I have for you are this. The first one, if your duvet does not have feathers, in which case we're going to have to use option 2. But in option 1, you can use a Ziploc space bag or a space-saving bag. These are great. You open them up. They're large format. You can stuff whatever you need to stuff in there up to the fill line. And then you can seal it up and either sit on it with your body weight, which will press out all of the extra air through a little valve. Then you'll just seal that valve by clipping it or snapping it closed. Or you can use a vacuum cleaner to actually extract all of the air from the bag. The bag flattens down to the size of roughly a pancake, and then you can shove it wherever you need to shove it, whether it's a linen closet or somewhere in the basement. And the great thing about that is it keeps it airtight and it's waterproof, and it keeps all the things out that you don't want getting out and everything in that you need in. Now, the reason you don't want to use this option with a down-filled comforter or duvet is because this process can ruin the feathers, and that's what you're paying for, and that's what's keeping you warm. In that case, you would actually just want to use the bag that your comforter came in. Now, ours, because we don't store ours, actually is used for holiday decor storage, but I brought it up out of the goodness of my heart to show you. Now, the reason I like these, not only are they plastic on one side so you can see what's in there and they're nice and durable, but they have this breathable material on the back side, which is really important, especially for a natural fiber like down. So something like this would truly be a perfect option. So when I love to tell you guys to throw everything out if you don't need it, but I actually think something like this would be worth keeping if you're planning on storing your duvet or comforter. If you don't have enough closet space to hang these types of shirts, or if you're traveling and you want to figure out how to fold it beautifully, like the way these shirts are folded in store, it is not as hard as you think. All it requires is something simple like a magazine, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So the first thing you have to keep in mind is you want to keep your buttons buttoned. That is going to help this situation enormously. So definitely have the top one and the bottom one and just a couple in the middle. Now that that's done and taken care of, flip the shirt over, and it is all about keeping things smooth, because the smoother the shirt is, as you're going into this, the smoother it's going to come out when you unfold it. And less wrinkles, obviously, way better. So you're going to take your magazine and you're just going to place it right below where the collar is. Center right below where the collar is. Now you're going to fold your shirt as you normally would, and linear shirts like these plaid shirts or striped shirts make life a little bit easier in this situation. So you're gonna make sure you have a nice straight line, and then there's two things you can do with the sleeve. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. You can do that and sort of fold it back in on itself, or you can do this neat little zigzag, which I think is kind of fun. So you fold it back like this, you fold it over like that, then you fold it again like this. And of course, if the bottom tail is nice and even, you know that you are definitely on the right track. So we'll fold it in, we'll fold that cuff in like that. So we are in pretty good shape. You're going to flip the tail up, the shirt tail up, so that you have a nice, even, crisp line right there. And here comes the beauty shot. Just fold it in half, right up to the top of where that magazine is, and then gently wiggle it out, put it to the side, you can read that later, Flip the shirt over, and you can stack it in your dresser, you can put it in a suitcase. It looks beautiful and it's not gonna wrinkle. I find hoodies to be very sloppy when it comes to folding, and there are a couple of different ways that you can actually tuck the hood in or use it as a little kangaroo pocket to contain the rest of your sweatshirt. So I'll show you a couple of options for hoodies as well. Start by laying the sweatshirt flat and then tucking the hood on top of the shirt. Then you're going to fold the shirt as you normally would, hiding the hood. This helps to keep things mostly tucked away. But if you notice that your hood is still slipping and sliding around, you can grab the hood and stuff it inside the shirt, thereby creating essentially a crew neck sweatshirt. Then you can go ahead and fold, and you won't have to deal with the hood sliding out. You just might forget that it's a hoodie. What I love is that it's super contained and you'll never worry about that hood flying out. This though is my favorite way to do it, and it is especially great if you're tossing a hoodie in a backpack or a bag for travel. And what you'll do is you'll keep the hood out altogether and you'll fold the shirt as if it were a crew neck. When you get to the top, you're gonna do one final roll, and then you'll just tuck the hood over top of the package. You'll see it stays right in place and it looks super cute too. Now when you hear Ranger Roll, you might think it's some new fangled sushi item on a menu at a Japanese restaurant, but I assure you it is not. It is a very cool way to fold your clothing. So I'm going to show you how it's done. Lay the shirt flat. Now flip the bottom part of the shirt up about 4 inches to create a lip. Fold in the sides to meet in the middle as you normally fold a shirt, and now start rolling tightly from top to bottom. Lastly, flip the lip over the roll, securing the ends. There are different theories on what makes sense for folding pants. If you follow the Marie Kondo school of folding, you like the idea of filing your stuff so you can visualize or see exactly what is in your drawers, especially if you're someone that likes to use drawer inserts or drawer dividers. Or you might like to be the stacking type. Either way, there are a lot of different ways that you can fold pants, whether it's jeans or sweatpants or any other kind of pants that you're wearing. There are just some simple techniques. So I'm going to show you what they are, and you decide. You're going to fold them about halfway up. Then you can fold the legs up once more. Then you just flip the halves together, kind of closing it up like a book, and you get a nice even stack. Here's another way you can try. With the button facing up, fold your jeans in half. Then tuck the crotch point in. This creates a nice even straight line so that when you fold your jeans up, you don't have any weird stuff sticking out. Fold the leg just about halfway up, and then do a roll fold about 3 times. That way you can stand your jeans up and file them in a drawer. Well, this is awkward. We're gonna kick things off with my underwear and bra drawer. I'm gonna start by removing everything from the drawer, and this allows me to take inventory of my unmentionables and maybe prune a few items right off the bat. For my bras, I'm gonna clip them up and store them one behind the other, just like they do at the store. You can use a drawer divider to ensure they all stay in one place. For my underwear, I'm just gonna fold them into a nice little package and file them in a similar manner to the bras. This saves a ton of room and works better than my old method of just dumping everything into the drawer. The result of a very easy job. My bras are all lined up back to back. My underwear is stacked in these 2 easy to access beautiful columns. And I have done such a great job that I freed up an entire third of my top drawer. Skirts are pretty simple because they're mostly square already, so there's not much to do. My recommendation is to just do a couple of trifolds, and you have yourself a nice little skirt package. So the first tip that I learned from someone who is pretty much a pro golfer and holding this camera is that all the buttons should be done up. So that is super helpful, and that makes sense because it keeps the collar stiff. The other thing I will suggest is that you fold the collar as it is intended to look on the wearer. Next thing I'm gonna do is just flip it over onto its backside. So goal number 1, I'm going to get this in a rectangular form. So I'm going to fold this part in, and you'll see I'm using the neckline as a guide. So right where the collar would hit your neck is where you want to fold this into. And then I'm just folding the sleeve back on itself and quickly smoothing. I'm going to repeat on the other side, making sure all of my lines are nice and neat as I go. And of course I'm doing this super slow so that you can see and I can explain, but when I'm actually doing it, it is much faster. And rather than doing the tri-fold that you would do with a normal shirt, I find this one folds up a lot nicer when you do smaller folds. So on this shirt, I might actually get 3 folds out of the deal. And you'll want to stop right at the base of the collar so that when you flip it over, it sits nicely, and you can see this will stack up beautifully. If you have even one social media account, I am sure you have seen the 5-second Japanese t-shirt folding trick somewhere. So I'm going to show you how it's done. It takes a little bit of practice, but it does work. Pinch right here at the neckline on the left-hand side of the shirt. That way you can have the logo facing up. And then you're going to come down about halfway, so just about diagonal from where the armpit is at the halfway point of the t-shirt. Now you're going to take your left hand, you are going to flip it all the way over and pinch the bottom side of the shirt. And I'm going to pull my right arm through like this, give the t-shirt a quick little shake, lay it down on the opposite side, and then to complete it, I'm just going to fold it back on itself like this. This is a pretty easy method once you do it a couple of times. I can show you, you can get pretty efficient at it actually. Pinch, pinch, grab, pull through, flip over. Okay, it's a little sloppy, but I mean, you get the idea. It looks great. 2 options in the pant/bottom hanging world, and either works nicely. I tend to prefer the clippy style for skirts and the clamp style for pants. Now, sometimes you might get pants that have lingerie straps on them like these ones do, meaning you could just use a regular hanger for those, but really a nice way to hang your pants is to use one of these 2. Now, if you're using the clippy style hanger for pants, no problem, but you might want to be mindful that these clips can actually leave indentations in your pants. If you want to avoid those indentations, you can fold a thick piece of cardboard like a cue card or literally something from a shipping box and just put that right over the area of the waistband where your clip is going to go, and that way the cardboard or the paper will protect your pant top from getting that crimping in it. Now, if you want to use the clamp style pant hanger, you might want to consider hanging them from the cuff instead of hanging them from the top. And that's because the clamp is not as strong as the clip and the pants might slip. Another thing you can do if you have a half closet like I do, where you've got two rows, if you will, is you can fold your pants in half and then you can use the clamp to hang them that way. There are lots of different ways that you can use the clip and the clamp. Figure it out, have fun. A lot of us hang our sweaters like this, but every now and then you pull your sweater off the hanger only to see those permanent hanger impressions in the shoulder area. There is a way to avoid it. It is called the hang fold, not to be confused with a hang nail, and it's quite simple to do. Start off by laying your sweater flat and then folding it in half. Once that's done, take the hook of your hanger, place it into the armpit area of your sweater, fold the body portion of your sweater across the hanger, and then take the arm portion of your sweater and fold it across the other part of the hanger. This is what the hang fold looks like when it's all complete. I think it's a great technique to use for your more delicate sweaters. The reason I would say not to do it for all of your sweaters is because it can get a little bit bulky. For your finer materials, it's okay, but for anything that's a little bit thicker, you're just going to want to hang it as you normally would. brings me to this week's comment question, which is, are you more of a I like to hang it person, or are you more of a I like to fold it person? I'm more of a neither, but if I had to choose, I would go with hanging because I just think it's easier. But let me know your preferences in the comments down below. Now that you know how to fold and hang your clothes, you might as well learn how to wash them properly. So you can check out this laundry video that we put together not too long ago with some of my favorite laundry tips. If you want to support the Clean My Space channel, of course you can subscribe. You can also check out makersclean.com where our microfiber cleaning tools are. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.